I know, it's gone, but I promise it's coming back. The beard will return, but I needed to start fresh. But today we have some exciting tech news. They just announced the Pixel XL2 and the Pixel 2, and I'm super stoked to talk about it with you guys. So let's get started. So as you probably have realized, I'm a huge fan of the Pixel series, as you can see by my Pixel XL on my stand right over here. And before that, I was a big fan of the Nexus series as well. I've always been a big Google user, and I've always liked stock Android the most. I've gone back and forth between other phones. I used the Note 5 for a while, and before that I was using the HTC One M7, and both of those software experiences were good, but stock Android is always the best to me. And so I am extremely excited that the Pixel XL2 was announced today. And you notice I said XL again, because the Pixel 2 is exciting, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have the same flash appeal as the Pixel XL2. The Pixel 2 has the same kind of signature and look as the Pixel original from last year. It has the same 5-inch screen, it has the same big bezels. It doesn't have a headphone jack just like the Pixel XL2 does this year, but it has front-facing speakers. And honestly, if that's a trade-off I have to give out for, that's something I am willing to use, because I can promise you right now I will use those front-firing speakers 110 times more often than a headphone jack. I hate that all these phones are going away with the headphone jack, but I knew it was inevitable the second Apple got rid of the headphone jack in the iPhone. It's the one issue I've always had with Apple products. Because of the command in the market they have, the second they do something like get rid of a headphone jack, the rest of the market knows that they can do it as well. That's why I'm not really going to argue that fact that it's a bad thing that they've done it, because guess what? Everyone's going to do it. You saw the Pixel do it now, you've seen all the iPhones recently do it, and you've seen multiple other phones from Motorola, HTC, and other companies all get rid of their headphone jack. It's just inevitable. The next company, I promise you, to get rid of it will be Samsung. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what I think of the Pixel 2 and the Pixel XL2. Well, I like it, and I bought it. That's what I think. Video's done. Just kidding. I'm back. So the Pixel XL2 and the Pixel 2 have a couple unique features that definitely excite me. They have water resistance now, they have front-facing speakers, they have a whole new camera setup, and they have a couple new software tricks that I really actually think I'm going to enjoy. That's why I personally picked up the Pixel XL 64 gig Black Edition, which, what is it, subtly black or something like that? They have the cutesy little names. The water resistance is really nice because I really thought that's the one major thing that Pixel XL missed last year and the Pixel phone from last year missed, because water resistance is just such a given in phones. It's just such a nice feature to have because we take our phones with us everywhere, and there's always that chance that it starts to rain or we're near sink and we bump it in, or I even remember when people used to drop their phones in toilets all the time. Like, with water resistance, you don't have those issues in your everyday life, and these devices are supposed to be with you every day. So I just think that it's something that should be part of every phone out there, and I'm glad to see that Google finally brought it to the Pixel phones. With the new camera setup, there's now a new 12 megapixel sensor with OIS this year, and it's shown already in their samples that they have this unique feature where they allow OIS to work with their EIS, and when those work together you get really stabilized video. And I mean, I can't wait to see how this feature turns out, because EIS last year was so good on the Pixel XL unless you were like really running with it or something. So now combining the really good EIS with OIS is going to be a sight to see for sure. I can't wait to show off some of those video clips with my Pixel XL I'll have soon. That will all come with my full review though. But the other thing that has me interested as well with the camera is that they added portrait mode just like with iPhones. And honestly, portrait mode doesn't really interest me, but the technical aspect of how they're doing portrait mode does interest me. I'm not a big selfie taker or anything like that, or take a lot of photos of other people. Honestly, I just don't. I usually am taking pictures of landscaping and computer parts and stuff like that. Portrait mode's not that exciting for me. But I'm curious to see how well this Pixel 2's version of portrait mode does work, because every other phone out there that has some form of portrait mode that originally came out on the iPhone uses 2 cameras to get this done. And the Pixel, as you can see in all these renders and video clips and all that kind of stuff, is 1 camera on both the front and back, and both of them have portrait mode. And the way they're doing it is entirely through AI learning and software. You saw in this entire event, there was a huge push for AI learning. And so that's where they're able to do a lot of this thing, because Google learns so much through their AI bots. So I'm definitely curious to see how that comes out, and I'll definitely show you guys how portrait mode compares, especially to the iPhone, in my full review. Google has a couple new software features all coming to the Pixel 2 phones, but the 2 that have me most intrigued are the launching of Google Assistant by squeezing the phone. I'm curious to see how that feels as well as works, but I do think it's a really good idea, just because it does seem like it'd be a natural thing to squeeze your phone and then immediately be able to talk to it. You don't have to unlock it, swipe it, or anything just to initiate Google Assistant. I really do think that might be a pretty good idea, but I'm gonna hold out until I actually get the phone in hand and see how the feature works. The second feature that has me pretty intrigued is the feature that's going to make Shazam pretty mad, I think. I think this is gonna be the end of Shazam and other services like SoundCloud, because the Pixel phones will now have the ability of, just like Shazam and SoundCloud, to find out what music is playing around you and will show you on your lock screen, which is now an always-on display. And I really like this feature because I'm an avid music listener, and I'm always at a place where I hear music in the background and I'm like, what song is that? So I'll unlock my phone, find the Shazam app, and click it on. And for the most part, I can get to Shazam quick enough to catch the song playing or whatever. But I have had a couple times where it took me too long to get to Shazam and then I didn't know what song was playing. And I think this feature will be awesome for me because I'll see immediately what song's playing if I want to know, click it, and then I can add it to my Spotify playlist just like that. It's immediately going from that to my Spotify playlist, and I don't have to find any kind of app to initiate that process. It's just doing it automatically. And the thing that's even more intriguing about it is that it's not using any data. It's all entirely done on your phone, and that's completely different than the way Shazam works. If you don't have data, you're not finding out what song's playing. So I'm really intrigued to see how well this feature works and if it has any hit on battery life. Because if it has a hit on battery life, I might be not that avid to use it, but if it doesn't affect battery life, I'll probably use that feature a lot, to be quite honest. Battery is another feature I forgot to mention earlier that I'm actually pretty excited for. The Pixel XL2 will have a 3520 milliamp hour battery, which is a good size battery, especially compared to most of the other phones coming out right now. I believe it's a couple hundred milliamp hour bigger than the LG V30, which has the exact same screen size as the Pixel XL2. And the Pixel also has a 2700 milliamp hour battery, which should be very good for that one as well, with the Pixel 2 only having a 1080p display versus the 1440p 6-inch display on the Pixel XL2. Obviously, I keep saying the Pixel XL2 because that's the one that definitely has my heart, and that's mainly just because I really like the look of it. I like the minimal bezels. I love the front-facing speakers. Those have me super intrigued because I've always loved front-facing speakers. I've loved them in the HTC One M7. I love them in my Nexus 6P, and I can't wait to try them out in my Pixel XL2, which obviously, like I mentioned before, I did pre-order. So when that comes in, I will definitely do a full review of the Pixel XL2, and obviously I won't have a Pixel 2 to review. I'm not that big of a YouTuber or anything like that. This is my own money. But you do get a pretty good understanding of the way that phone would be because all the internal specs are exactly the same between the two phones. They have the same cameras, same everything. The only major difference is going to be screen size and battery, and obviously a slight difference in design from the front, but from the back they look almost identical. So I hope you guys found my first impressions kind of interesting. I definitely will have that full review coming up pretty soon on the channel. And just so you guys know, my girlfriend is actually getting the iPhone X, or my bad, iPhone 10. I always want to say iPhone X, but it's iPhone 10. And I'll be doing a full review on that phone as well. And I will probably do a versus video between the iPhone 10 and the Pixel XL2. So definitely stay tuned for all those videos coming up on this channel. I hope you guys like this video. This is Zach with Next Tech News. See ya!